biggest priority is to build more export terminals for natural gas so that they can ship our gas to Europe, to Asia, where they can charge way more for it, and now Americans will have to compete against those people who are willing to pay 3, 4, 5 times as much.
Of course.
So to heat our houses, we're going to have to pay more. Okay, that's the game they're playing. They're talking drill, baby, drill, but what they really mean is export, baby, export. We're not going to be producing more gas. We're just going to be sending more out of the country, and the supply crunch is going to continue to get worse, and those prices are going to continue to go up. And the most important thing, and I hope you got here, is that with the supply chain issues for gas turbines, there are none available right now for at least 4 to 5 to even 7 years. But solar and wind, once you permit them, they can go up in like 18 months. You know, that is what is in the cupboard right now. And we've got electrical demand coming at us from AI, from data centers, from EVs. We need the power now, and the only choice that we have to get it on the grid and keep blackouts and skyrocketing prices from happening is to get as much solar and as much wind on the grid right away. So, there we go. Okay, so the New York Times kind of underlined this here. America's demand for electricity is soaring. Wind, solar, and battery power are quick and cheap to construct. And John Ketchum, who you just saw, says if we take renewables and storage off the table, electricity prices go to the moon, in his words. That's a technical term. So I have been talking to a lot of people over the last 7 years around the state, like Mike Cockrell here. Mike is a farmer over on Michigan's west coast in Muskegon County, White River Township. He was formerly the supervisor of that township for many, many years. He signed up to have solar on part of his acreage, and he was instantly ejected from his local board. And has since come into all kinds of abuse and threats that I'll tell you more about later. But listen to him talk about the advantages of that solar can bring him as a farmer.
What's the advantage for a farmer to have solar on his land?
Well, for me, it's really a no-brainer. Like I said, I'm 4th generation, and you know, my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents, and my wife and I worked pretty hard for this land. I don't want to sell it. And this was a way for me to keep part of the farm in farming and get a better income and a steady income, you know, that would not be related to the weather or to politics or anything else, or markets, or what happens in the other side of the world would not affect me on this portion of the farm with solar. So it was a really good thing for us. For the most part, it was really not a better deal than a good year on the farm. But the problem is with farming, it's not every year is a good year. And some years you borrow money to stay in business, or you rob Peter to pay Paul to get to the next season, the next crop, or the next sale, or the market up or down. You know, it's really something that works out pretty well for a farm.
So I hear this over and over again. If I can put a wind turbine, if I can put solar panels on part of my land, I can keep the farm profitable, I can keep the farm in the family, and I